Press all fabrics flat before making any patterns or cuts. Now lay out the cardboard pattern, being careful to pay attention to keep the pattern on the fold when necessary. The pattern goes on the fold of the fabric for the front of the gown and the front lining of the gown. Trace the pattern with a pencil so you will know where to cut. Since this is a dress back, you will need to cut 2 of them, not along the fold. Continue this process to cut all the pieces you will need: 1 dress front, 2 dress backs, 1 lining front, and 2 lining backs. On the dress front, decide where you want your embellishments to go and pin them. Next, you will sew on your embellishments, making sure to backstitch on each end. Next, clip all the loose threads. With the right side of the dress front to the right side of the lining, pin the curved neck. Next, sew the neckline, backstitching at the beginning and end. Clip the seam allowance with scissors, making sure you do not clip through the seam that you just sewed. This will allow the dress to lay flat when we flip the lining to the inside. Now you are going to flip the lining to the inside and then press the neckline with an iron. Cut 4 pieces of 8 to 10 inch ribbon, which will be used to tie the garment in the back. Place the ribbon in between the right side of the garment back and the right side of the back lining, with the majority of the ribbon hanging out toward the sleeve. Pin from the curve of the neckline all the way down the gown, securing the ribbons as you pin. Now repeat the same process for the other side. Roll up the ribbon and tape it to the inside of the gown to keep the ribbons out of the way as you sew. This will ensure that you don't accidentally catch the ribbon in any later seams that will be made. Next, you will sew the curve of the neckline and then pivot and sew straight down the garment back. Clip the seam allowance of the curve of the neckline, making sure you do not clip through the seam that you just sewed. Turn the garment right side out and press it flat. With the right side to the right side, pin the back pieces of the gown to the front piece of the gown at the shoulders. Next, you will sew the shoulders. Remember to backstitch at the beginning and the end. Lay the dress flat and press the seams at the shoulders. Now move on to hemming the sleeves. With the garment laid open, press the sleeve hem and pin. Now repeat this process for the other side. Now sew the sleeve hem, backstitching at both ends. With the right sides together, pin the underarm and the side seams, taking care to pick up the garment front, back, and both lining pieces. Next, you will sew under the arms and all the way down the sides of the gown. Clip the seam allowance in the curve under the arms, making sure not to clip the seam you just sewed. Press the seams you just sewed, and then turn the gown right side out. Now you will press the seams flat. With the garment laid open, pin the lace to the bottom. Now you're ready to sew your embellishments onto your gown. If you do not choose to put lace across the bottom, you can just hem it. Clip any visible threads. And now your delicate embrace angel gown is complete and ready to be donated. Another way to embellish the gown is to wait until the very last step to add your embellishments. You would wait until the end if you would like your lace or trim to extend all the way around the sides and back of the gown. The design possibilities really are endless. For this example, pin the lace to the dress. Then sew the lace all the way around the dress. Next, you can add a little ribbon for more embellishment. You would pin the ribbon to the dress and then sew it on. Thank you so much for your help in sewing bereavement gowns to donate to area hospitals.